Okay, and we will start. Hold on, a student. Admit all. And I needed to start sharing screen. Okay, so what today we will start with a new unit about plotting. Okay, and for plotting, we will start with Python's matplot library. It's pyplot. Okay, so we are going to start with, hold on, let me get the student. Admit all. I need to do admit more, okay. Okay, so more. Okay, so anyway, so the matplot, okay, so this library's pyplot will support a lot of plotting. Okay, so this is one of the major tools that we can use in Python for all sorts of plotting. And hold on, to admit all. And later on, we will also see, because previously we learned pandas, is it? And for pandas, we have one-dimensional series. And we also learned, hold on, keep having coming. And we also learned about two-dimensional data frame, is it? And both of them also has some plotting functionalities themselves. Okay, later on we will also see. And some third regarding plotting. So we will start with a pyplot. Okay, so the first case, this will be quite simple. So NumPy line space, previously you already learned, is it? So what over here try to do is from negative pi to positive pi, is it? This range of data. How many data points you are going to generate? 256, okay, and including endpoint, okay? So anyway, so this generate 256 points, okay, data points, and you assign it to X. Hold on. And we assign it to X. And then we are going to conduct NumPy cosine and sine calculation on this 256 data points. Okay. And then you can see next. So over here, we import the pyplot as PLT. Okay, later on we will use PLT a lot. Then you can just go ahead directly call plot. Okay, and with plot, so this is kind of like X value and Y value in math, is it? So in math, hold on. To admit. So in math, we know that, and you can draw all sorts of function curves, is it? So similar, the concept is that, so here the plot, then you need to have X value, you need to have Y value, is it? So here, the Y value is sine of X and the cosine of X, is it? And you do the plot, and then we let our plot be shown, is it? And we can clearly see, is it? It gave us the plot. Is it to give us the plot? So this is the very simple case, okay? And over here, you can also see multiple curves are also supported, is it, in a single plotting. And then next, let's see. So for the next one, we still use line space, is it, to generate some numbers, is it 6 numbers? And over here, we have another array, is it? So this is a list, it's just all 2, is it? And the Y values so corresponding to each. So we have, we can just directly take the value. We do log, we do quadratic, we do power, we do x times the log of x, is it? So all sorts of different functions. And with the different functions, you have different y value, x value, and y value, is it? So we can just call the plot, is it? So specify x and y. But here, you can see we have more argument, is a keyword argument. Also supported with the plot so that we can add more features on our plotting. And you can see this plotting result, is it? And here it has an argument for label. Okay, so you can also label. Give each of your curve kind of a name, is it? So all of this, a label represent, okay, it's linear or log 2 or quadratic power or n log 2. Is it give each of your function a name, is it? When we do research, we use this a lot, is it? And you can also specify line style, is it? You want it, hold on, I need to get the student team. You want the line, it's dashed or dotted, is it? If we don't specify, it's just a line, is it? And you can specify different types. This is just like in Excel, is it? If you use Excel to generate graph curves, is it? And you can specify a lot of features with labels, with line style. So similar here with Python, you can do the similar thing, is it? And with plotting, you can also provide what we call legend. So this is, hold on. So this is a legend. This is where the legend is. Okay, what a legend holds is, okay, your line color, line style, and the corresponding name, is it? Like over here it shows, okay, linear, log 2, quadratic, power, and n log 2, is it? Of those. Okay, and its corresponding line representation, is it? And the color, is it? So this is where the legend, and when you put legend where it is, you can specify where it is. Here, if you specify best, it will find the most spacious, empty space it is, then it will put there. Is it? It won't put here because you have your curve here. Is it? So here is empty, so then it put the best location for the legend. And within the legend, all of this part is from where? From your label. Okay, so that's, we associate the label with the legend. Okay, so that's what this part shows us. Okay, and previous one, we just show you just do plt.plot. Is it just a single figure? Is it a single figure? But within a single figure, you can have multiple lines. Is it? And a lot of time in the real world, you can also have multiple graphs together, is it? So here it just shows we can also have what we call figure and subplot. Subplots. Okay, so here let's see. So with the pie plot, if you call the figure method, what it will do, it will create an empty plot window. Okay, a window, an empty window. And within this window, you can add subplot. You can add subplot. Okay, so here it says, okay, and give each plot, subplot a name. Is it? Okay, so here it says, so here just shows it's arranged as 2 by 2 for the subplot. Okay, and who is the first, who is the second, and who is the third. Okay, so the third parameter tells the first plot, the second plot, or the third plot. And the first two tells the arrangement. So it's 2 by 2. And we can clearly see, is it? It's 2 row and 2 column arranged by. Is it? Okay. And then, so on that figure window, is it? So you have an empty window. Empty window, and then you can add. So over here is we add 3 subplots. Is it 3 subplots? And what each plot will have, then we can just call like a plot. Is it? If you call plt.plot, you didn't specify it's going to be plot on which subplot here, is it? Then it will draw on the latest subplot. The latest one is what? Is the third one. Okay, so this, so here you will generate 50 random numbers. Is it? The random number will be generated with what? With normal distribution. So here we have n, normal distribution. And what we will plot with cumulative summation, is it? For all of the numbers. And what this means? This means it's the style of the curve, of the line, okay, of your plot. Okay, K means black, and the star is dash dash. Okay, and we can clearly see this is a plot. So it meets its definition. Okay, and here it didn't specify on which side, so it will pick the latest one. This third one is the latest one. Okay, so that's regarding this one. And if you can also specify, okay, where you're going to plot. Okay, I see. I want to draw histogram. So this is a histogram. Is it on the first subplot? And the histogram is some random number. How many beans? 20 beans. The color is dark, as black color. Is it? And alpha is for the color transparency. So alpha channel, okay. So for image, normally you have RGB and alpha channel. RGB is red, blue, green, the base color component, is it? And the alpha transparency channel, is it? Here it's 0.9, so it's not that transparent, is it? So that's why you can see it's quite dark, is it? Okay, so anyway, so this is a histogram. And for the plot, it also supports scattered, is it? And the next one, so here it shows a scattered plot with 30 numbers, is it? Yeah, so, and the X and the Y values, is it for the scattered numbers? Okay, so this is regarding subplot in a pie plot, okay? And here you can also specify figure and X, each of the subplot. You just directly call PLT subplots and then specify its arrangement. So it's 2 row and 3 columns, so 6 subplots. There's 6 subplots. And it will return the figure, is it, the window, and each of the subplots here. And what is the next one try to show is subplot is what, 2 by 2. And you share. Here is that how about, because each plot, how about its X axis and Y axis, are they going to share? Is it? So here it says, okay, it's supposed both X and Y can be shared. Is it can be shared? And then here it uses a loop. And for each one of it, it's going to draw a histogram. Is it histogram? You can see the color is still black. But this time, did you see the alpha, this argument? Last time it's 0.9, so it's quite dark. This time we change it to some smaller value. Then did you see the light, the color is light. The color is light. And for the subplot, the horizontal and the vertical, is it spacings? You can also adjust, is it, so that between the plots, if you want to have some spaces, you can also change the value, is it, maybe 3, maybe 5, is it, so that between the subplots, they can have some space, okay. So that's regarding more features you can add for the subplots. And what the next one try to show is for the pie plot, the line color, marker, and the style. We already see color and the style. You can also specify the markers on the line. Okay, so here's just a pie plot, the plot. Is it what you will plot? Some random numbers, cumulative summation. Is it that's what you're going to do the plotting? Is it? And here also be careful when you do the plot, you directly provide the function that you want to plot. Okay, and the color is green. This G means green. Line style says, okay, dash the line. That's a dash line. And the marker, it says it's a dot. Is it? It's a circle for the, so this are all the markers. Okay, so you can specify, but you still need to check the documentation, okay, what the options that they support, okay. This is regarding the marker, some special feature we can add. And what next one try to show here, we have data be generated. So here it shows the generated data. And then for the plot here, okay, so this is the color, is it, and the line style. Color and the line style, is it? And you can also add a label for each of the line, as it previously we also learned, is it? Okay, the dashed is called default, and the other one is called step post. And the draw style, you can also specify the draw style, okay? And also over here, we also provide a legend, is it? And the legend where you want, it's the best location. So wherever empty place it is it? And always remember, if you want to provide a legend, you need to provide a label, okay? So legend created with a label. So for each of the curve, you need to provide the corresponding label, and then legend will be generated. Okay, so this is regarding visualization. Okay, what next one try to show is how do we add text? Is it some text, some titles for our plotting? Okay, so first let's take a look. So this is what this plotting looks like. Is it? Plotting look like, if you take a close look, you will find the x-axis this time has some word on it. Is it? We call them text. Is it? So how do we achieve this? And over here, we also have title. Is it title? Okay. So how do we add all of those to make our plotting more readable, more illustratable? Is it? So of course, we still first create the drawing window. Then we call add a subplot. So this time we just add a single plot. A single plot, is it? And what are we going to plot? Okay, some random numbers, cumulative numbers, is it? Okay, and if we don't specify, there may be too many numbers, is it? So we don't want every x value be displayed. So that's why here you can also, for your plotting, you can specify the text. Is there? So we call here set x text. Okay, the text is every 250. Is it kind of? We draw every 250. Is there? So those going to be our tick. And for the tick, we are not just going to use the original number. We also want our tick to have some label. Is it? So we are going to have 1 represent 0, 2 represent 250, is it? And for the label, we are not just by default, we want also look pretty, is it? So we make it rotate 30 degrees. And you can also specify the font size. Okay, so a lot of formatting you can do on your graph, is it? Even with text, you can do this, is it? Okay, and you can add a title, is it? Title. Okay, you set a title. You can also the X label, is it? Give the name, is it, for the X axis. Okay, you can call it to stage. So this is one way on the subplot. You can call set title, set X label, is it? Set tick, and set tick label of those. Or another way you can do it is you can create a dictionary. So this is a dictionary, is it? And dictionary, and you provide the title X label, is it? And including also tick, is it, if you want. And then you can specify whatever the content, and then you just call the set, is it? And plug in the dictionary, is it? The keyword argument, okay? And you can also, so just call the set, and then all of the features that you want to assign, it will be taken care of by this set, okay? So over here, we take this method. Otherwise, you just need to call each individual function, okay, the corresponding set. Okay, so anyway, so here to make our plotting more readable and illustratable. That. Okay, what the next one, hold on. What the next one try to show is we have multiple lines, is it? So let's see. So we have a window, drawing window, and then we have one subplot, is it? On the subplot, we have 3 different curves, is it, with their specified color and the line style and the label, is it? And we also put the legend, okay? So nothing new here, is it? So here is the graph. And you can see, is it, when the legend, you put the location as best, this time it will pick this empty spot, is it, to put the legend, okay? Quite intelligent, okay? Okay, what next one try to show us is, let's see. So this time similar, okay? So we have a window, we have a single plot. And this time we are going to use pandas data frame for our drawing, okay? So we read the CSV file. So it's some CSV file we read. And then we get one column. Okay, so this is a single column from the data frame. From the data frame, okay? And this time, if you take a look here, then, so basically this is kind of like a series, is it? A single column. So pandas series, is it? And did you see this time, this plot is not from the pie plot, is it? It's a series. So pandas also has a plot function, okay? And then you can specify where you're going to plot. Okay, so you're going to plot on the subplot that's created by the pie plot window. Okay, and the style. That's how this time it works. Okay, this time, so the pie plot, the subplot, is as argument. Is it plug in for the plot method is from series, okay, from pandas. So this also works, okay? So we can also combine them together, okay? And let's first take a look at the final result. Then it will be easy for us to understand how this is generated. If you take a look, this is a little bit of complicated, is it? It's not just the curve, is it? We also have the title, and we also have some of this. Because a lot of time, when you do the data analysis, is it on your data, you have some special critical point you want to highlight, is it? So how do we achieve that goal, is it? So let's take a look. So this concept is called what? Annotate. Okay, so on plot, you can also add annotation. Okay, we can also add annotation. So here we are going to pick 3 special date. We call them crisis date data. Okay, so it's a list. This is a list, is it? And the list has what? Has tuple, is it? And it has date and has the name for the date. So we are going to pick 3 special date. There's some special day for stock market, basically here, okay? So the pick of bull market, bear stone fails, Lehman Brothers bankruptcy. Is it this specific 3 special day, okay? And their corresponding name. And we put them in a tuple and then add them to a Python list. Is it? Okay, then we loop through the list. Through the list. And because the list, each of the item in the list is a tuple, So that's why we can also get the date and the label out. Is it? Okay, then for each of the date, is it for each of the date, we are going to do annotation on our graph, Okay, for this annotation, what it says, okay, it says it's going to use whatever the label. Is it? The label is what? Is those. Is it the name of the day? Okay, so you're going to annotate with the special label. And over here, XY and XY text. Is it? So this tells you where you're going to add the label. Where annotation is. Is it where the annotation is? Okay, so on your drawing, is it? So X is date. Is it? So that's why you need to pick that date. And the date is from the list. Is it? The tuple. Okay, so you get the date and the SPX. SPX is what? Is from that data frame, is it? From this data frame. And this data frame, the index, so it has the date, suppose like 2017, 10, 11, is it? So it's arranged. So this is index. Then it's SPX, is it? That's a column, is it? Okay, so as of you get the date, is it? You will find, basically this is a Y value, is it? X is date, Y is SPX, is it? And you get the Y value. Get the Y value maybe here. And then you're going to add another 75. Okay, so that's where you're going to do your annotation. Is it? And the annotation also has text. The annotation has a special, it's going to use the arrow for the annotation. That's what it did. Is it? Annotation, use the arrow. And then it has the text. Is it? So bull market. Bull market. Is it? That's why it has the date, as of the day, and plus 227. Is it? So as a special, and then it's 210, so it's somewhere here. It's going to be like the bull market. Is it? Has a text. Is it? So you need to specify where your annotation and its text is. Okay, so that's regarding annotation. And your annotation arrow, you're going to use the arrow for the annotation. Is it? And for that specific, what's the color of the arrow? It's black color. The head width, the width, and the length. Okay, so this is for the annotation. The specific annotation, it's use the arrow. Then you need to specify also the color, width, the length. Is it? And then what next is how you're going to align your annotation. This is a horizontal and it's left align, and the vertical is aligned at the top. Okay, so that's regarding the annotation. And after annotation, and you may not want to plotting the whole sequence of your data. So you can also specify the X limits and the Y limits, okay, for your graph and set the title, okay. Okay, and if you take a close look, did you see over here, this is the annotation. This is that arrow, the width of the arrow and the width of the and the length, is it? So and this is the text, is it? So and where it is corresponding to the corresponding date, is it? Corresponding date. And the Y value, is it? It's from the Y value and 75, or this is for the text, is it the 225, is it? So you need to specify when you want to have annotation, okay? You can play around with it to see more features. Okay, the last cell explains just, you can also draw some figure, okay, with a pie plot. How it does is, so here create a figure, the subplot, is it? And you can specify like a rectangle, a circle, polygon, is it? And then you specify like color and line, is it? And then for those, because those are shape, then you need to add a patch. Okay, you need to add a patch. And you can also save that, okay? Save the whatever, the figure that's generated, okay? Okay, so this is regarding the first note about plot. And next, let's take a look at the second note about the plotting, okay? So the first one, so this time, what we are going to do, the plotting, is we use pandas plot method. You can see it's also support. So this is pandas series. There's some random number generated and with its index. Is it? And you can also directly call plot. Then it's generated. Is it? So this is another option. Okay. And what next one try to show? Here you have data frame. Is it? And generally speaking, when you do draw X and Y in math, is it? Basically here for our X, most of the time is the index and the Y is the column, is it? But with data frame, you have multiple columns. So how do we handle that? Is it? So this is 4. This is 10 by 4. So you have 4 columns. 4 columns means you need 4 curves. Is it? You're going to generate 4 curves. Is it? And here is the index. Is it? So this is index. Okay, and you have the corresponding value, is a corresponding value. And because you have 4 columns, is it? And when you do data frame, you call the plot. It will automatically, did you see, generate each different color, is it, for the corresponding column. So the corresponding column changed to what? As the label. Is it as a label, okay, for the legend label. And it automatically generates the legend, is it, with pandas data frame plot. Okay, so each column will be a single curve here in this case. And then next, let's see. This time we have some series. Is it? And we have 2 subplot. Is it? 2 subplot. And for pandas, when you use pandas plot, is it? You can also specify what kind of plot you want to perform. So here it says, okay, I want to generate bar, horizontal bar. Okay, so the first is vertical bar. The second one is a horizontal bar. Is it? And it will automatically, if you take a look, use index as the x-axis. Is it? And the y is going to be some random number you generated. Is it? But here it use bar. Okay, so you can also specify. If you don't specify, it's just a plot line. Is it? But if you want to have bar plotting, then you need to specify. Is it? And for bar plotting, you can also have a horizontal bar. Is it? Then it's a bar H. Okay. So be careful here. And what next one try to show us is this time we have 2D data. It's a data frame. Is it? Data frame index is specified. Okay. And the column is A, B, C, D, is it? And it also has the name, okay, for the column, is it? So this part is for the column. Column also has name, is it? And we want to generate what? Generate a bar. Okay, so for each column, we also wanted to do the bar drawing. Okay, bar plotting. Then in this case, if you take a look what the result look like, then for each column, is it? So this is the same column. So same color will be from same column, column A, is it? And the D, this is column D. Is it? This is column D. Is it? So each column, there will be a different color of bar. Is it? And the axis of the index. Okay. And the name of the column, did you see it's also be displayed as a legend? Okay, and the legend also be specified. Okay, so this is bar drawing, and we can also do a different way. Okay, so let's see, and I think let me run off. And then let's run. So this time I also change. I will do horizontal bar drawing. But here we have some, if you take, oh, if you take a look, I changed it. I also add this keyword argument, stacked is true and alpha 0. So what are all of those means? Okay, let's run it. And did you see this time? Then it will generate this kind of graph, is it? So different color is a different column. Is this a different column? Okay, and this is what stacked mean. Previously, it's just shown by each other. Is it aligned with it? So this time, it's stacked on top of each other. Okay, so for the bar drawing, you can also do something like this. Okay, for bar drawing. That's what this part shows. Okay, and I think today let's just stop here, and we have some more. So today what we discuss is two drawing from two different tools. So you can use PyPlot. You can also use Pandas series or its data frames, direct plot method. Okay. Okay, so that's all for today, and we will discuss more Friday. Okay, and Friday I think we should also be able to complete plotting, so not a lot of material for plotting. Okay, so then bye.